It's the time of year again where people are going back to school and things like that. I haven't actually gone back because I'm going to university, so I don't move until the end of the month. But I know a lot of people are going back to high school. They might have made the transition from primary school to high school, or they're going from high school into college or something. And I know for one that my school was very strict on makeup. They went through a lot of wet wipes and nail varnish remover to sort us girls out, because it was an all girls school, which isn't actually as bad as a lot of people think, but yeah. So anyway, this is the kind of makeup that I would do, and I have never actually been asked to take my makeup off in school, so I guess it works for if your school is very strict. If it's not as strict, you can probably do a bit more and play around more, just not with like bright colours. So it's just keeping it neutral, and there's always the orange people that will detract attention from your bit of covering up. So I'm going to start with concealer, because I've got a lot of blemishes and things like that. This is the collection, this one still says collection 2000, but it's now just collection lasting perfection concealer in Bon Fair. And I love this. I usually don't put it straight onto my skin, I usually put it on the back of my hand and then do it for blemishes, because then otherwise I get a bit grossed out by the fact that that's been on lots of blemishes on my skin, and that's a bit nasty, and it'll probably just give me more. I'm not actually using foundation during this, because I learnt my lesson through school that I would basically just throw on any cheap foundation that I could afford, in the hope of covering stuff, but if anything, it just made it worse and gave me more blemishes and things like that. So it's better just to go without, really. So if you have really bad redness like I do, you can use a green coloured concealer to put that on underneath your foundation, to counteract the redness so it's not as obvious. Just don't cake loads on, because then it becomes obvious that you're wearing makeup and you'll get wet wiped and have to spend the rest of the day with absolutely zero on, which is worse than having just a little bit. I got a monster on my cheek. Okay, and now that I've done that, I'm just going to use powder to set it. If you have oily skin like I do, powder is a must, and carry it in your bag as well if you think you're going to need to freshen up your powder through the day, especially if you've got to use and things like that. And then for a little bit of definition, I'm just going to use a matte contour shade from my Sleek Face Born palette in light, because it's matte, it's just not very obvious. It just blends in and gives you more definition to your face. I'm just going to put like so. I'm not going to use any blush because I'm not a fan of blush. Well, I do like blush and I wish I could wear it, but because of my redness, I try so hard to cover it up. If I put blush on, it just brings it back, especially the redness of blemishes, so it doesn't really work on my skin. If you do use blush, I'd say go for a neutral pinky matte shade like Natural Collection Pink Cloud, which I have here, and I'm not actually about to use. I'm going to use my MUA eyeshadow in shade 19, which is a matte dark brown. I'm just going to use that for my brows to give my brows more definition, because then it will really frame your face. I usually do this with a tiny little mirror up in my face. then just smudge it through my fingers. I'm then going to take my flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going to take this matte shade for my eyes. It's just a plain matte shade. I think it's like a creamy beige colour. You know, the one where it's midway and you're not quite sure. That kind of deal. Like that. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush. I'm going to go back to the matte brown shade that I used for my eyebrows. And I'm going to put a little bit of that in my crease to add more definition to my eyes, and as it's a matte shade, it won't draw a great deal of attention to it, and it'll just make it look like my eyes are a little bit bigger than they are. And I'm just going to blend that in with my blending brush. Like so. And then your best friends for eyes are eyeliners in white and brown. The brown one you're going to want to put in the water, the upper waterline. I don't know what it's called. Sorry, the sun is really bright right now. And I'm in England. And then the white one you want to put on your waterline. To brighten your eyes and also look a little bit bigger. And then finally on my eyes, I'm going to use my Gosh Amazing Length and Build Waterproof Mascara, which is in dark brown, so it's not as bold as black, so it's less noticeable. And also it's waterproof, so you get caught in rain, if you cry, which I hope not to do in school, but everyone does at some point, so be prepared. And also PE, it won't shift down your face, which happens to a lot of people, but I didn't really participate in PE a great deal, so I never had that issue. Not a fan of PE. Not a fan of any physical exercise really. I'm just going to do a couple of wiggles with that, so it's not too much. And then finally on my lips, I'm just going to use a lip balm which has a little bit of tinted colour in, which is the Body Shop in Cranberry Joy, I believe, but I think it's ripped off. I've had it a while. I actually got this with those vouchers they did with a magazine. Yeah, that's an attractive fit. You can't put this on in an attractive way at all with its shape. And then that is it for my no makeup look. I hope this helps some people, because I went through the whole I don't know what makeup to wear and just piling on makeup that just made my skin worse. Now I've actually found a foundation that not only covers my skin, it also helps it. So until you find that, I just steer clear, because otherwise it'll just make your skin problems worse. And you'll find that the less you wear makeup, the less you need it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and there's more to come.